Hey everyone, we're here again and we're going to talk about our swimming pool shoot that we had. I'm here with Augustine, Jacob Durbin, Chino Villatoro, and Crystal Villatoro. So this shoot came from an idea that we had a pretty while ago, maybe a year and a half ago, that we wanted to set this up, and we never got to it because the weather here in Wisconsin, it gets a little chilly. So this year we were actually able to do it, and we got good weather and it was pretty warm. Here's a little look of what we accomplished. So as you may or may not know, we run two brands here, the ALTVRA brand and the Bella Hills side. And the Bella Hills side is all wedding stuff, and ALTVRA is more corporate creative stuff. And you'll see the differences in the two different shots that we did there.
All right, so the next thing we had to do is look for models. So luckily our favorite friend, beloved friend, Instagram, was there to help us. So we reached out to a few people, and the model that we had intended for our shoot for the ALTVRA side of the business agreed to do the modeling for the Bella Hill, the wedding side. So got
she was
those
in two shoots. She was the green dress and then the wedding dress that day.
And then we reached out to our male model who we've worked in the past. He's super amazing. He's great to work with. And he came out. He drove about 2.5 hours to come and be our model, which was great.
Thank you, Ben.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Justine.
Yes.
Yeah, so the clothing was very important for this because it was going to go in the water, so afterwards it'd probably be unusable, but I think it's still usable.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it washed out great.
Water damage.
Just bleach.
Just bleach water, chlorine water. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing was getting the location. We have our friends in Kenosha, the Shorts family. Big shout out to them for letting us use their pool. We've gone to their pool for parties and stuff, and they were gracious enough to let us use it for this shoot. So all the clothing arrived through the mail, but we wanted these extra added touches to it. So our friends at Hobby Lobby sold us these nice flowers that we put together. I tied it up with something
Twine.
there. Twine, yep. So check the pictures, see if you can tell if they're real or not, because they're not real. We took a little bit of the more like the boho influence and added a little flower to the hat as well. It's just a cut off from one of those and pin it right in there. Bink.
And we actually used this hat for the bride. You might think that we used it for the groom, but we didn't. We did a little twist on it and we had the bride wear it and it looked out great.
Actually, we used it for both. Here's the proof.
Dun, 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 dun.
So now that we had everything in place, how are we going to shoot photos underwater? Well, we went to our other friends, we have so many friends, at borrowlenses.com who let us borrow for a nice little fee of who knows what, an underwater housing for the Canon 5D Mark III. It's a nice big clunky thing, and shooting it with it feels like you're shooting with a big giant toy. But
It did
fun.
look like a toy, yeah.
But we didn't do it for the video side. On the video side, we had a different hack.
Yeah, so kind of we were using our Panasonic GH5Ss. They're not waterproof cameras, so you can't just take them underwater. So kind of I saw another filmmaker online, his name is Jacob Owens, and he was using this method where he had a fish tank, and he would just kind of lay the camera in the fish tank and kind of weigh it down a bit. And he was able to kind of use that as kind of an underwater housing because the fish tank stays floating. So if this is the water, you put like the fish tank.
You put the camera inside the fish tank, and me and Jacob kind of finessed it pretty much. You just
Put a sandbag.
one hold down. Yeah, we had a sandbag in there just to help, keep the weight down in the fish tank, and it worked out good.
The shots actually turned out really great. A lot of stuff we shot in 240 or 180 FPS. Just because when the models went underwater, they would be blinking, which you can definitely tell more on the video. And so we shot it super slow motion, so it looks like they had their eyes open for a lot longer than they actually did. We thought that was pretty good. So
Yeah, because when we went underwater, it's a whole different experience because you're kind of zoom in a lot. Well, the water magnifies your vision, so everything seems a lot bigger or closer to you. And you're holding your breath, you're trying to look at the camera, and the model, you're thinking about the model holding their breath and doing actions you can't direct underwater. So you gotta, when you're above water, when you're above water, you give all the plans, the directions, and hopefully when you get under, it happens.
Yeah, and another interesting thing was, the water kind of magnified it. We were able to do a lot of like video stuff where we were kind of half in, half out. And it gave a kind of like really cool effect, like just going in between, because it had that like magnifying effect. So like the parts that were underwater were a bit bigger and a little more vague, whereas the parts that were over water were clear. So it looked pretty cool. Yeah, and I remember being super excited about the footage right as we even got back to the studio, and me and Gabe actually hung out here and just edited a lot of it like until about midnight. So we were just really excited to get to editing it and see how it looked. So it was definitely unique and something that was cool to experiment with. Yeah.
Kind of like going to outer space and start shooting because everything just is different. The whole environment is different, but it was fun to do. It was great to do.
Yeah, it was a good experience for sure.
Yeah, and something different that is cool to try, and maybe something we'll try again. And use for other different shoots, because it was cool.
And the bleach turned my hair green.
It did.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was great.
His hair went from being about the color it is now with the bleach blonde, and gradually I think we started to notice like a little green tint coming on pretty early, and it was kind of like, oh, is that like real, or is it like with the way the light's hitting it?
It was
and then like later on it got
It was like I took an acid bath and I turned into the Joker.
pretty much, yeah. that's how it ended up. So
So in conclusion, it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun to do, and we're super excited with what we got. Check it out on our social media.
there's a red button over here, to subscribe. Be sure to hit that, just so you can stay tuned in to all our latest videos, and stay on top of all the cool things that we're doing here at ALTVRA.
Yep. Stay creative.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.